good afternoon and good evening. And I'm here with Marina Nani today to talk about as part of my life and my life experience as a holistic movie maker and somebody who also works with empowering women. Hi, Marina.
Wow, I'm so excited you are here. And you know what? We never had a movie maker before at Radio Works Hall. So I'm so humbled and I'm so grateful you are here. So
bless
tell
you.
us, what is your story?
Wow, well, what can I say? I've been a holistic practitioner for the last 20 years, primarily because my grandfather was really well known. He used to treat the President of India and the Nizam of Hyderabad. He was a Unani practitioner, which is an ancient Greek discipline. And for some reason, it was kind of calling me and I couldn't leave it. But I also decided very early on in my life that I wanted to be in film. And I thought the best way to enter film is as a filmmaker rather than maybe in front of camera, because it's just much more competitive and probably much more uncertain. Whereas I think as a filmmaker, you have the option to choose where you want to do your projects, who you want to work with. And that's what's been happening for the last 20 years.
Oh my God, but this must be so much behind the scenes, which I'm sure our listeners want to know all about it. But tell me, so in 2016, what is that was let's say a memorable moment when you felt, yes, this is worth every single inch of sacrifice I'm making to carry on my passion and follow my calling?
Well, I've been in the middle of a few projects and a lot of them are unfolding. And as they were unfolding and all these amazing people coming together in my life, I think that very much, supported my passion. For instance, I also chair an organisation, or the UK chair of an organisation that's there for the empowerment of women, and they're part of I think the world's largest forum of women, and we have quite a lot of events with them, and one of them is the Women's Economic Forum, which we're hosting in London. And I've had so many calls from people just wanting to come out there and to share their story, and I'm honoured to be sort of hosting this along with the organisers at the end of the month, and I'll be speaking in Hague as well. And when this was all developing at the end of last year, I realised that I really am in the right place. I love the work that I do. I love being with people. I love sharing their stories. I love being creative with them, as well as channeling my own creativity into, let's say, my healing work, which is very important to me. And with regards to my film projects, as I said, they're unfolding. So I am currently making a documentary about the Bosnian pyramids. And I'm very lucky to have been invited to be on the Bosnian Pyramids International Advisory Board last month, which makes it very exciting because I'll be doing some projects out there with them. And I want to finish my film by the end of next year. So there's a lot going on, and I sometimes wonder, how am I going to get through all of this? But I think it's just the sheer passion and the joy of meeting so many amazing people out there who I collaborate with that just keeps that energy flowing.
Wow, so you are an energy worker or a superwoman working with energy. You bring the best in people. I can see your passion flowing through my own mind, thinking, oh my God, this woman is so amazing. And there's so much going on for you. But what keeps you awake at night?
Should I tell you, when I was very young, I used to listen to this sort of the songs of whales and dolphins, which is what led me on to really kind of getting heavily into making my own documentaries. And I was always very tuned into natural things, and I always felt very deeply connected to the cetacean family, which is why I ended up actually making an award-winning series on dolphins, marine life and human impact. And now with all the things going on in the world today, I often do stay awake at night, just really praying that, we can get rid of social injustice and that we really take care of Mother Earth, and that people can feel fully empowered to recognize the true potential of who they are, you know, their absolute divine spark, and start to live from that place rather than, you know, be pulled into the everyday drama that we witness every day. So this is what keeps me awake at night, just wanting to expand, wanting to know more, wanting to uncover more about our reality, wanting to meet more amazing people, wanting to invent things, wanting to support people, wanting to have my own creativity flourish. These are all the areas that keep me awake at night.
You are definitely very gifted, very creative human being, and I can see your desire to give more above anything else. And I was wondering, what are your struggles when it comes to delivering your creation? Because I see it's easy for you to create. I see you have all these amazing ideas and you implement them as you go along. And sometimes you have or you don't have the support, but you believe in what you are creating, and you believe in a better world. You believe in not having people struggling. You believe in people discovering their true nature, their own truth, embracing their own truth, and endorsing their own vision. And because you are in a movie industry and you've been in this industry for so long, you know that one way or the other, we are all movie producers. We each one of us produces his own movie.
Yes.
And there are struggles, of course there are, but when you focus on the struggles, you can't focus on what is available out there.
Yes.
So I just wonder, what is your experience in delivering what you created?
Yeah, you know, that's a very interesting question, Marina, because people always think, oh, you're in the movies, so glamorous, so this, so that. And yes, of course, like with any industry, there's always the lovely side of it, you know, the side which is the glamorous or the beautiful within the creative arts, let's say. But in the creation of things themselves, you know, there is a lot of hard work. And I think the areas that I think most creatives find difficult are concentration, because when you're producing something, you've got to be so focused and you've got to be very precise, you know, on your scripting and when you're putting things together. It's also sometimes very challenging because you can be dealing with people who might not always be easy, and filmmaking's about teamwork unless you're actually out there as a sole filmmaker, you know, with your own camera. Very much so, you have to work with other people. So it does involve a lot of human psychology and flexibility, and not everyone's flexible. These are sometimes challenges. And also areas like funding and support, like with any project, when you first initiate something, you've got to work so hard to try and make it attractive to the investors, to make it attractive to the people who want to buy your product, to make it attractive to people who want to sort of follow you. And those, of course, who are going to show your product, whether it's on an online TV channel or broadcast channel or whatever. So there are always challenges out there with it. But I think the main area with any creative is just sustaining that vision. Because in order to really, really create something, you have to be so in tune with your intuition and have to get real about what's going on out there, and use your imagination at the same time. And of course, we're all humans, so we've got things going on in our families, things going on, you know, in our cars breaking down sometimes, and bills to pay and whatever. And it is a very big spiritual journey to be able to maintain that focus and that concentration and that joy when sometimes inevitably things will go wrong. Even in production, you know, you might go out there. I remember on one of my shoots going out there and God, one pack of tapes, you know, a whole box of tapes, that something had happened to the tape, and it had gone through one of the machines, and it was just not, the tapes weren't working properly. So we had to contact the insurance. We had a very short time to shoot, and then we had to get the money quickly, and then we had to have them DHL'd over, and we lost 2 days in that. So of course, when you're doing that and somebody else is paying for the shoot, you've got to really economize with your time, and everybody gets very stressed out. So it's not all about, you know, let's have a good time, we're making a movie. There's a lot of stress involved and a lot of logistics. But I think the lesson here is to always understand that, you know, we're making a movie, but we're in a big movie, so we've got to take things a bit lightly and not seriously. And we have to understand that it's actually quite expansive for the personality and the soul and the creative spirit to go through these kind of challenges.
You see, I'm thinking now what you said so resonates with me, and I'm sure resonates with our listeners as well, because so many times you are thinking, God, that was a good movie, you know, because this is what you want from a movie. You don't really want an award or a recognition, even that helps, but
Yes.
but it's so good to watch a movie and think this is a good movie. And
Yes.
what is a good movie on your by your standards?
Well, I think a good movie, there's so many different ways to categorize it. I mean, one is technically it could be a great movie, it could have incredible animation and, you know, a lot of other special effects, or be filmed very well. But to me, a movie is a story, whether it's a documentary or it's a regular feature film that's fictional. It must touch your heart, and it must take you away from this world. Even if it's a hardcore documentary, it has to take you into another world, away from the world that you know, are living in on a conscious level. Because the more it absorbs you, the more you are able to let's say absorb yourself into the creation of the person who made it. And that constitutes a good movie. If you can actually sit there and get absorbed without being too critical, and you can walk away and you really feel like within that hour and a half or that hour, something has shifted in your consciousness and you've learned something, that's a good movie to me.
Wow. Wow, so true. And you know, coming back to the story, because you said a good movie is a good story. I was thinking lately that yes, it's very important to craft your story, the way you share your story with the world. But the most important story is the story you are telling yourself, is the story, the narrative you are sharing with yourself in that dark moment where when you are all by yourself. Because at the end of the day, each one of us is an island. Yeah. Even we are led to believe that you know, there are friends out there, there are family out there. To me, it's how you deal with yourself, how you create that relationship with yourself is more important than anything else. And it took me a long while, actually, I have to admit. It took me a couple of decades to understand that. And I was thinking, what is for you, in your own view as a holistic movie producer, what is important for us to remember when speaking with ourselves, when talking with ourselves, when you listen to your inner voice? What are the top 3 tips you can give us, you can share with us today, so we learn to listen to our story in a different way, and we learn more about our inner self, about, you know, because we are changing all the time, we are learning all the time. So each half an hour I feel that, even now I was listening to you and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm so much better now. I feel so much better now. You inspired me so much in such a short space of time, because of what you are sharing, and the way you see the world helps me personally see the world with a fresh pair of eyes now. So what are the top 3 tips you could give our listeners to use when they listen to their own story?
Well, you know, it's a funny thing, and thank you for all that, Marina. It's so very generous of you to say that. When you listen to your own story, I mean, first of all, you have to ask yourself, well, who is me and what is my story? Before you even think about listening to your own story, what is my story? And generally, people's story is just a culmination of all their life experiences within which they're trying to identify the many different facets of who they believe that they are, you know? And once they isolate those areas, there's a million voices, hey, I'm a poet, I'm a cook, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm an artist, or I'm a technician. Doesn't matter what it is, we have stories. Or I'm wounded, I'm a divorcee. So we are constantly bombarded by our own self-perceptions, and not only that, we're also bombarded by the perceptions of other people, because very often we shape our perceptions according to the way other people perceive us, which isn't really necessarily right. But if we see everything as a mirror in life, very often we would imagine that people reflect to us back either what we are or what we'd like ourselves to believe we are. When it comes to us personally moving forward in life and shaping our lives, what do we truly need to listen to? And I would say that number one is to listen to the call of your heart. Because when you move yourself out of the way and you allow what we call spirit to come through, then your sole purpose, and I'm sorry, I'm using language that might be considered new agey, but it's actually a language that is quite familiar to me, and I think most people will get it. But I think we're all born with a purpose. So when your personality, move out of the way and let all those stories dissolve, forget your past, forget even what it is that you're striving for, and just listen to what your heart tells you, you will sure enough know what your life calling is. And you may very well think that it is your life calling, let's say, to be an actor. And suddenly, in that quiet moment when you listen, it might actually be your life calling to go out there and set up your own charity. So we don't know, unless we listen to ourselves and in the silence of ourselves, really what the essence of ourselves is. We wouldn't know that. Number two is, once we've isolated the essence of ourselves, is to listen to the passion that can arise from the knowledge. And we have to listen to it and feel that passion. And when we feel that passion, that is the very substance that drives us forward. It's like the fuel for the car. So it is like the fuel for the engine of your vehicle, your body. And the third thing I would say is that you must listen to the truth. Because very often we might feel passionate about things and we might have a soul calling and we've identified it and we've listened to it, but we can get very, very swayed by things that are insignificant as a result of fears that we might not succeed or what other people think. And we must really listen to the truth. And that truth will be very apparent. And it might not be in words, but it has definitely got a resonance to it, and you feel the truth. And of course, when you feel something, you could be seeing it or listening to it, because I think all the senses are intertwined anyway. And when you get to that place of truth, then you will know exactly what you need to do. So number one, get out of your way, listen to what your soul purpose is. Number two, listen to your passion and feed that passion. And number three, listen to the truth, whatever it takes. For instance, you may be in a job that you enjoy, but you have to work with somebody you don't like, and it's upsetting you, and you keep repressing it and repressing it. But if you really listen to the truth might then guide you to go and find another job that's similar, but where you don't have to endure that set of circumstances. So off the top of my head, those are the three that I can think of.
Wow, I'm lost for words. Doesn't happen too often to me. But oh God, I'm so grateful for this, and I'm hoping our listeners will come back with their questions, and I hope we'll be able to answer best questions live during your next show, which I can't wait for.
Oh, thank you.
And I really want to share with you this little vision I have, which is a big vision, of course. I don't do small. so the book I wrote. I wrote a few books, but one of the books I wrote is about my life. So it's about me, but it's not about me. Even it's a story about me. It's for the readers. And
Yes.
somebody read it recently, and I sent them the draft. I just wanted to test on a 100 people who have time to read.
Yeah.
And this lady sent me the most amazing email, and among other things said, "This is a movie. This is the movie."
Oh,
So
wow.
I thought, I know it's a movie in each one of us, and I
Yes.
know is what we make of it, and I know that life is full of amazingness, and it's so beautiful. And to me, I think there is no question. Life is wonderful. It's simply because it's what we make of it, and simply
Yes.
because turning yourself from the opportunity chaser, chasing opportunities all the time, into the opportunity maker, or in your case, into the holistic movie maker.
I
It's,
love it.
yeah, just, just away from the next miracle, because I think you are the miracle you've been praying for, the miracle the world is waiting on. It's you. From both
Yes.
of us, until next time, it's goodbye. Have an amazing weekend, and I can't wait to read your questions.
Thank you. Thank you, Marina.
Goodbye.
Bye.